Night Girl asks,
can you do an update video about how you're maintaining your diets in Korea?
we've been getting this question a lot.
Seems that way.
Email and like commenting online.
We already did a video a while ago about how we lost a lot of weight in Korea.
Yeah.
In case you're new to the show, we used to be, in the past, a lot
rounder,
softer,
cupcakeier,
cookier,
jelly-filled,
sweeter, and more jolly. At my heaviest, I was 230. I'm down to like 190 right now.
Yeah, I think at my heaviest I was like 170 and now I'm down to 146. This is pounds, by the way.
Not kilos.
Kilos. I don't know the kilos.
How many kilos are you? I don't know.
In Korea,
who uses kilos in the world?
Korea uses kilos and I hate trying to figure it out. I'm like, I don't know. So the reason we gained a lot of weight in Korea was a combination of eating a lot of white rice and white noodles and perhaps a little bit to do with eating a lot of fan mail. Maybe a little bit of that.
All the Reese peanut butter cups in
Yeah,
sense.
but the big reason is actually that we're Westerners and we didn't really eat a lot of white rice in our diets normally in Canada. You might have like a little bit, but it was essentially, I would say, around a cup.
In Korea, there was a whole lot of rice. The whole point is that our bodies weren't used to digesting all that rice. So we had to try to cut out a lot of things that are ricey in our diets, and that really helped us lose a lot of weight. But we've done a lot of changes since then to our lifestyle.
So let's talk about some of those. The biggest thing for us is that we got rid of white flour and white sugar from our kitchen. When I do any kind of cooking, I always use coconut sugar. I think it's like xylitol or something, and it's available in Korea easily at any grocery store.
All over the place.
Yes. Now, the harder thing to find was something like coconut flour or like flaxseed meal, almond flour, those kind of things I can't find in Korea, so I have to order them online, and I use Eatyourkimchi, which is not sponsoring this post, guys. They just ship to Korea and it costs like $4.
We just use it all the time as well.
So if you're on like a low carb diet or like you're on a paleo diet,
gluten-free diet,
yeah, that kind of stuff.
Korea's not really going to be that friendly for you.
Yeah, I mean, like that's something we really took for granted when we were in North America. You could go to any kind of restaurant and a lot of them would have like leaves to say that they're vegetarian or like V for vegan or like low carb, but
that is never, ever, ever gonna happen in Korea.
Not gonna see it.
Okay, it's not gonna happen.
So as a result, we have to do a lot of cooking ourselves, which is one of the biggest changes that we've had in our lives.
So if you're watching your carb intake, there are a couple of things that might help you out when you're in Korea.
So whenever we order something at restaurants and they're about to give us rice, we say "밥 빼주세요," which is like, I don't want any rice.
Yeah.
And they're always like, what?
This is really the biggest problem when it comes to dealing with not eating rice in Korea. If you
Why
are at
wouldn't
a school,
you want rice?
Like, and let me tell you guys,
Are you crazy?
If you are working in a Korean school right now and you try to not put rice on your like cafeteria tray, you know you've experienced this already. People will say to you like,
why are you not eating rice?
You haven't eaten a meal if you haven't eaten rice.
What is this sorcery?
Yeah, and I've tried to explain to my Korean friends that rice digests differently for different people. And
like, well, rice is healthy for you.
Right, so some people...
You lose weight by eating rice.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we wind up saying, "밥 빼주세요."
And then from there, when the person gives us a look of like evil, we
if
explain.
they're very confused, we wind up saying "황제 diet 있어요," and that pretty much means low carb diet. And as soon as we said, they're like, 알아요, I understand.
And I think the concept of a low carb diet is becoming more trendy or like understandable in Korea. So a lot of people will be like, oh, okay, I get it, and they won't harass you to eat the rice.
Right.
And
Before they used to just like be like, eat the rice,
eat the rice,
eat the rice, get it in your mouth, swallow it down, do the rice, poop it out, poop it.
Okay.
So that's a good way for them to understand that you're
Yes.
just trying to stay low on carbs and sugars.
Yes.
Now that's just for restaurants. When we go grocery shopping also, we wind up reading the side labels, which a lot of the ingredients are in Korean, which we might not understand. But the one ingredient that we do look for in the nutritional factor is 탄수화물. And that word means carbs. So we always try to read something that has low carbs.
And you'd be surprised at how many things in Korea have hidden sugars. Like even when you get iced green tea from the convenience stores, you think like, oh, it's green tea, it's good for me. But if you read the side of it, it actually has carbs in it. It has lots of sugar in it. So there are a lot of things that we had to cut out that we didn't expect to have to cut out. Now, when it comes to eating out in Korea and you have no choice but to eat something carby, there are certain things that we like a lot. So for example, we like the cold noodles, like we like naengmyeon, and we like momil because it's made with a certain plant instead of necessarily white flour.
And they're higher in fiber, so we're looking for things that are like high in fiber to offset the carbs that you take in.
Yeah, so those are pretty good, especially momil. Momil is basically like soba in Japanese, and it's pretty low in carbs.
So if we have to eat noodles, those are the noodles that we're eating.
We also aim for a lot of protein. So for example, grilled meat or like samgyeopsal, kalbi, like all the meats might come with rice, but you don't actually need them to complete your meal because you've got a lot of lettuce, lots of vegetables that you can wrap things in.
I don't even want to wrap my meat. I'm just like, grilled meat, meat and mouth, nothing else. It makes me feel much more closer to my dothraki side.
Yes, but the point is that some of the meals in Korea, if you don't have rice, it really does feel like like you're eating like cereal without milk. It just feels like something's wrong. But
Cereal without milk is delicious.
That's
Was
weird.
delicious back when I used to do that as a kid.
We also don't eat cereal.
Not
Sad.
anymore.
Well, we eat Korean breakfast now. We don't even think about it anymore. We're like eating meat for breakfast and curry for breakfast and stuff like that. Curry with no rice. We use quinoa rider.
Quinoa.
The thing that I can't pronounce.
Quinoa.
Quinona. Quinona. Quinoa. The native land of my quinona. My quinona. Na 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 na. If you're also looking for another hearty meal, if you order any of the jjigae, so like puri jjigae or like kimchi jjigae, chamchi jjigae, which is like a tuna jjigae, it's literally a can of tuna dumped inside of it. Sundubu jjigae, soft tofu jjigae, those kind of things are like a stew that's pretty hearty on its own. It does come with rice, and normally you eat it with rice, but you don't really need it.
It's better with rice, but it's kind of sad when you're eating the soup by itself and you just have the broth.
The point is it's not thin. Like if you eat solongtang, we're always really sad because it's literally like 2 pieces of meat and then
Sliced
just broth.
meat and then just broth.
And you're
the
like,
broth is delicious, but you kind of want more with it. It's one of the sadder meals that we eat here in Korea.
So if you have a stew without rice, it feels kind of like heartier. You can eat that. And you can go for a lot of like chicken stir fries and don't have the rice on the side as well. It's just like meat and vegetables.
When it comes to our breakfast, we don't really go out for Korean food that much. We pretty much take control of that ourselves. We have a lot of vegetable smoothies. So we blend like a lemon, apple, and some spinach and some water. And it sounds weird, but it's actually really delicious and really healthy.
It's not really a smoothie, as more of a
lumpy.
Yes, but Korea has a big selection of greens. We don't really know what all of them are. Like once I bought something that said kale in English, but I'm like, that's not kale. I think
but you dump it in the blender and you put in an apple and some lemon and voila, there you go.
There you go. We
Makes
also do a lot of protein shakes, and one of the biggest problems was finding unsweetened soy milk. There was so much soy milk in Korea, but it has so much sugar in it.
Loaded with it.
Okay, so if you want to go to Emart, which is the yellow grocery store, not the red and white one, which is Home Plus, you're gonna look for Yonsei soy milk.
Right.
Yonsei is actually the name of one of the universities. I'll show you guys a picture somewhere here. A picture's happening. Yes, so it's fantastic for cereal or for coffee or for whatever,
but
especially if you don't drink milk.
Very thick, very flavorless, very creamy. It's not like the sweet soy milk that you might be used to.
For breakfast, I also do like coconut pancakes or like coconut muffins if we really want something sweet, but it's pretty much carb free. However, I've been adding a lot of flax meal flour, which you can't get in Korea, so I order online.
Right.
But almond flour, what I've been doing is just buying bags of unsalted almonds, and I've just been grinding them myself in like those little magic bullet thingies. So we just have our own almond flour that way, and that's all pretty much carb free. So
we really sound like hippies right now. Like we grind our own almond flour.
It's gonna get worse.
And then in the morning, we wind up having spinach in a glass.
And with our spinach, I always make sure I put in chia seeds because chia seeds are high in protein.
And they also thicken it up. We legitimately use chia seeds.
Yes.
And then afterwards,
we
for our
also
diet,
use raw cacao to sweeten our protein shakes.
not the sweetened kind.
Not cocoa, but raw cacao
and on top of that, we just eat the nature that Mother Nature gives.
Don't forget the goji berries that go into my coconut muffins.
The whole point is that we do put a lot of effort into being healthier now when we make our food.
I make homemade unsweetened applesauce and use it to replace all my oils.
But we have found that we feel a lot more energetic, we feel healthier, we've lost a lot of weight, and this is pretty much how we've been maintaining our diets.
Yeah, I think I might put up a couple like Open the Happy videos because some people have been asking about our recipes.
Right, because last night at 3 a.m. we had like crackhead coconut pancakes.
Yes.
Pancakes at 3 a.m.
I don't think crackheads eat coconut pancakes at 3 a.m. They're like, I'm a crackhead. Time to whip up a batch of coconut pancakes.
Well, I don't know. I could be wrong. Any crackheads watching this video, Rob Ford, I'm talking to you. Let us know in the comments if you wind up eating.
We're never allowed back into Toronto again.
So those are a lot of things that we do for our diet and lifestyle change, and we're going to talk about it more in our blog post with some special recipes that Martina has.
Oh my God! Don't forget about my flax meal Parmesan pizza crust.
It's actually really, really delicious.
It's
better than regular pizza.
Free and really good for you.
Anyhow, check out the blog post for that if you want to see more. And that's it for this week's TLDR. If you have a question for next week's TLDR, leave your question in the comment section below or on Twitter because we answer this question on Twitter.
Yes, or check out the questions that are already asked below and you can thumb them up and bring them to our attention.
And don't forget to subscribe for more TLDRs where we talk like dirty hippies about all the sunlight that we eat.
Hey, I think that it's good because you can replace a lot of stuff that's not like white sugar is totally garbage. I use a lot of like special really thick honeys now, and I use like other things in cooking that's good for thickening like xanthium gum, and I use like
Think
Bob's
of
Red
xanthium,
Mill.
not xanthium. Xanthium is like the name of a sword.
I'm just saying.
And I dub thee the xanthium!